My brother is special because he's my brother. He's my dad, and always telling me how to do things and and cheering up for me. Oh, this is my brother. He lives outside Brazil. He's smashing out there. He's a successful guy. He's an executive in a big company, and he's my brother. My brother is proud of me, right? So pretty special. So he's my inspiration for sure. He's a very successful IT guy as well. He's my older daughter, Katarina, and she's special from birth. She's a very special girl. Um, I never had the proper time to tell her how special she is to me, and one of the moments that she taught me how to be brave was when we moved to New Zealand, and she barely knew English, and her first day at school was like this. I thought her I told her some easy words in English, how to introduce yourself, blah blah blah. And then first day at school, new culture, new kids, new friends, and she was in front of everyone on the school, on the class. She looked at the class, and I was spying in the side window. She looked to everyone in the class, no English at all. Deep breath and say, "Hey, hello everyone, my name is Catarina and I'm from Brazil." And that was the only English that she knew it to say. So if that is not brave, well, what is to be brave, right? So for sure that's an inspiration for me. I know what you're thinking. Another coach, leadership, TED talk with vague informations about leadership. Well, who knows? Maybe. But I promise that I will do my best to make this content as relevant and as insightful as possible, okay? Please let me know in the comment sections how was my performance. To be quite honest, I was reluctant on adding this chapter to the book, but I had changed my mind um, after pondering over the matter and realizing that a successful digital transformation journey can't happen without a good leadership. Imagine there will be several um, activities being executed by different teams in a matrix hierarchy structure and orchestrated by you and your peers. So very complex, and we need to influence in a way that the work is done as efficient as possible, right? So with all that said, I have summarized what I call it my version of how to become a good leader in 4 steps that you never heard before. And I will share with you right now, okay? The first step is what I call it minion step. Um, just setting up the scene. Just imagine 30 years ago, I was 16 years old. Um, First formal job of my life was a scholarship in university, doing research, using hyper performance computing to do research on how to clean the oceans and local lagoons. So apart from science and a bit of computing knowledge, I had no skill or experience whatsoever. In this scenario, what is the best approach if I want to become a successful researcher? My brother, which I consider my first great leader, used to work in a lab very close by, and I have shared with him this situation, and he replied me with this: Vilio, listen more and talk less. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a good reason. His point was that after you join an organization, you become a sort of minion, a task-oriented professional capable of following orders and being obedient, not in a submissive way, but just following orders. And that's crucial part of a leadership development because it teaches us how descriptive and detailed your activities need to be so they can be concluded with success. You cannot lead unless you have experience as a minion. The second step is what I call it elder brother. Who is the elder brother? Bear with me. The elder brother is older than you on the family. He understands more about the family rules than you and has more experience than you, but still relies on mom and dad to the most complex tasks on the routine of your week. For example, he's able to teach you how to wash the car, and he works in collaboration with you to accomplish this task, but still, he can't drive yet, at least he shouldn't. In the same way, inside the organizations, you need experience in being an elder brother because it gives you the teaching and collaboration skills, very important characteristics of a great leader. And experience the elder brother step, you will have that skills without accountability and weight of becoming a manager right away. As elder brothers gain experience and stature, they assume more responsibilities and manage bigger groups of people and become leaders and managers. And this is where we kick off the step number 3, which I call it Dungeon Master. When I was a kid, one of my favorite things was playing those role-playing games, RPG, Dungeon Dragons, for example, with my friends, right? And at the same time, the TV started broadcasting a TV series, animated cartoon with the same name. The show focused on a group of friends who are transported to a different dimension, which is the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. And in every episode, they try to escape. They try to go back home, but for some reason they can't. And there is one character in special that always got me laughing. It was the Dungeon Master. Why? Because in the end of every episode, after another failure from the group to go back home, the Dungeon Master would often appear to the group and comfort everyone, saying something that almost never makes sense, and then suddenly he disappeared, leaving everyone confused. Now, have you ever had a manager like that? Please tell me in the comment sections and share with us how did you work around it. Okay. My first experience as a manager was very interesting. I was working in an internet provider, leading a group of diverse background, sales and technical people, right? And of course, each one had their own goals. They have different personalities, different cities that they work on, and also different skills, experience, and targets, right? Um, as I had an extensive experience in being a minion and also as an elder brother, it was easy to me to understand that different audience means different approach. Even within the same group, there was a huge gap on what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. Why I'm saying this? Because one aspect of a strong leader is the ability to clarify the responsibilities and awareness of each role, bottom up, top down. Therefore, the team members create awareness on how important their role is to the main initiative, building a warming, belonging, and feeling and more comprehensive view of the deliverables, features, and functions. No pain, no gain, right? That costed me several extra hours, but in the end was really worth it because each member evolved in a way and they get their own pace automatically and all achieve a minimum KPIs required by the business by individual. And the growth was amazing. Everyone's potential was unleashed. And of course, the team result came as a natural, that the team result came as a natural consequence. Very cool, eh? And finally, just to be clear, I just gave step 3, the Dungeon Master name, as a sarcastic, right? So I believe that an attitude of a leader needs to be right the opposite. Be caring with your team. I guess that's the message, okay? A quick note, I truly believe that successful leaders don't position themselves above other people or revel in power and status. They don't need a formal role to be considered as such. They needed to have the power of influence. In my career, I have strong leaders that were not my HR managers, but I consider them as leaders because they were doing what the step number 4 is called influence. The influencer is step number 4. I was engaged in Asia Pacific for a digital transformation project where I was leading the architecture for the client. And I guess that as an SME, I did probably the most assertive and efficient architecture that I ever designed before. The result was that the client was so amused on what he saw, presented by me, that he decided to execute all the steps to that digital transformation journey. And he personally requests that I would be in charge for leading those mini projects. And a very fruitful partnership was born from there, right? And it was like 2 or 3 years of project, 2 years and a half, and very successful. A lot of hard work, but we delivered. And until today, he called me. He asked me for opinions. He asked me for advice. I'm a technical advisor I'm an advocate for him, right? And funny enough, he doesn't know how to pronunciate my name. And when he wants my presence over there, he asks for the surfer that lives in Australia. Oh, that guy from Australia that surfs. I don't know where he got the idea that I surf or that I am from Australia, but the way that I influence him, it works until today in a way that until today, I go there, I check with him, I check for client success, and then we move on for other projects. Funny enough, well, it would be good if he could remember, but the main message is be an influencer to your clients, to your project, and that's where a great leader is crowned, right? Without commitment, you will never start, but without consistency, you will never finish. So if you reach it, step number 4, and continue to evolve, the environment already consider you as a tough leader, regardless your formal role, because great leaders enable their followers to succeed, and when their followers achieve success, so does the organization, and so does the leader that provided that, right? To wrap up, please remember, strong leaders are relatable, caring, and humble. Don't manage time. Mindfully transform your relationship to it. Embrace a curious mindset and prioritize lifelong learning. Change is a constant. Embrace it. Don't fight with it. Lead by lifting others up. Share your knowledge. Don't isolate yourself. Strategic leaders act with decisiveness and clarity. Successful leaders value balance over rigid power structure. Practice humility by showing people care and respect. That was pretty much for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. I know that it was a little bit long. To my inspiring leaders that I had throughout my career, thank you so much. Bye. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.